Welcome, everybody, to my Group 1 preview for the Caulfeild Cup runner by runner. Very excited to get into it because, of always, we've got a big field. Conditions of the track are going to be key. You want to be looking for wet trackers in this field because of the racing we had today. It was a very wet track. Got downgraded to a heavy 10 very quickly throughout the day. And yeah, you definitely want the wet trackers on the weekend, and that's what I've settled with here. And I think that the horses that I like are going to handle the conditions and will get the trip. Well, I'm hoping. But let's get into the preview and look at each runner one by one for the Group 1 $5 million Carlton Draft Caulfeild Cup. So the first runner we're going to take a look at, we're going to do this in runner number, as in runner number order. So the first horse we're going to take a look at is Gold Trip. Kieran Maher and David Eustace for Mark Zara carrying 57.5 kilos over the distance and is drawn barrier 13. I think the barriers really hurt this horse's chances. If it had been drawn anywhere inside the 10 range, I would say, yep, he's probably the one to beat. But just with that wide barrier, I'm just a bit concerned of where he gets to in the run. And he is only 1 from 13, but he has run some really good races here in Australia. And being forgiving of anything that was further back in the field on the turn, but which he was, it was a great run. This horse did run fourth in an arc in the I'm not going to try and say the whole thing because I would make myself look like an idiot. But yeah, Gold Trip, chance at odds, but the barriers really dented his chances. All right, so horse number 2 we're going to take a look at is Jewess, Josh Parr and Edward Cummings. Aimed at the Melbourne Cup, but this is the stepping stone to get to that, to get to the feature race on the first Tuesday of November. Fourth up now, hard fit, 55.5 kilos. $13 and is drawn barrier 9. The barrier is given this horse. The barrier will give this horse every chance. The weight will give the horse every chance, and the jockey will give this horse every chance. Look, it won the Tancred over the 2,400 meters on a soft 6, which is for Group 1 level, and bolted away with that race. But my query is genuine heavy ground. That was my one query with Jewess, is genuine heavy ground, because my form for this meeting has been done best scenario, soft 6, worst scenario, heavy 10. So it could go either way, but if we're on the better side of soft, I'd say Jewess is a definite winning chance. And at the odds of $13, can definitely not blow the field away, but can win at those odds. But having said that, she was disappointing in this race last year, 12 months ago, where she was behind another good chance who I'll get to in a minute. But Jewess can win, but will need luck. Because it has got a few things against it, but then again, a few things going for it. So next horse we're going to take a look at is Knight's Order. Generally noted as a front runner, but from where it's drawn in barrier number 18, it's going to be hard to lead from there. He's not going to get into the right position. He's probably going to be midfield, and we've seen him at the top level. We saw him in the Melbourne Cup last year. I think he ran in the Caulfeild Cup as well. He can't do it at the top level. He's not a top line horse. I mean, Timmy Clark, Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott, they would have loved to draw an inside barrier to go forward on him, but they're going to have to take their medicine here. They can't go forward from 18 because you're going to have a lot of other horses kicking up, and you're going to be 5 wide on the first turn. That's not where you want to be in the Caulfeild Cup. You want to find the rail. So not for mine, Knight's Order. Next horse we're going to take a look at is Montefilia. Jason Collett makes a trip down for David Payne, $18, and is jumping from barrier 16. Another one that hasn't, where the barrier hasn't really enabled the horse, and from barrier 16, I think she's a write-off. I don't think she can win. I don't think she can run top 3 from barrier 16. I'm writing Montefilia off because of the barrier, not because of her record, and because she was disappointing last start, because I expected her to go to the Hillsmith her last run. I think it was the Hillsmith Stakes and win last start, but it was Cascadian, who was a dominant favourite in Sydney, and she ran third. But yeah, it was a bit of an inconclusive run, and she was second up, and I expected more. So third up into the Caulfeild Cup, she runs a trip. She'll handle the ground. She's beaten Very Elegant, so those are the three things going for it. But the barrier, detrimental to Montefilia's chances. All right, now we're going to take a look at the next runner in the field, and that is Numerian. Annabelle Neesham for Tommy Berry for Annabelle Neesham. So I got that the wrong way around. 55.5 kilos, $12 you're currently getting with the tab market. And this horse absolutely loves soft ground, and he's drawn barrier 10. And I think that the barrier has enabled this horse. He's going to go forward, and he can do it from barrier 10. He won't need to do too much work. I'm just saying he's not going to do. I can see him not doing too much work and probably sitting forward of midfield, maybe, or one out, one back is probably where I'd like to see him in the run. Tommy Berry picks a Caulfeild Cup ride over an Everest ride, so you can see that there's quite a bit of intent for him to win quite a bit of behind it to bring him down to Melbourne for a Caulfeild Cup ride rather than running in an Everest. You know what I mean? So Numerian, I think he's a very good chance. I think he's not my on-top selection, but he is very, very close. It was between him and another horse that we'll get to later on in the preview. But I really thought that this horse was the one. At $12, he is the one that at the double figure odds I think can run really, really well. So Numerian, definite winning chance, and the barrier has enabled him to do so. All right, the next horse we're going to take a look at is Nonconformist, the Group 1 performer. I say that he's run in 1, 2, 3, 4 Group 1s this spring behind a lot of the Cox Plate hopefuls, and ran 7th to the favourite in Animo last start and the Might and Power last weekend. So he was on the backup, was always going to be on the backup, according to the trainer. So I think Nonconformist has the right credentials. He's raced in the Group 1 company, was good last weekend, running on from the back. Marker wants to let you on at 950, 54.5 kilos. Geordie Child's great chance to ride his first Caulfeild Cup winner. Query is the heavy track or soft ground. I've always said that this horse is better on top of the ground, and I'm not shying away from that fact here. If we were on good ground, I would say he would be the one to beat. But on soft ground, potentially heavy ground, I'm happy to be. He's in my numbers, but he's not the horse I think can win the race. So Nonconformist, a chance, but needs dry ground, which I don't think we'll get on Saturday. All right, the next one we're going to take a look at is Vow and Declare, the Melbourne Cup winner from 2019. And he's flying, this horse. I don't care what anyone says. He is flying. And he's running a couple of Caulfeild Cups and hasn't done too badly. Blakeshin aboard, 54.5 kilos. You probably would think that they're going to use this as a springboard for the Melbourne Cup. $21. Double figures. I don't think he should be. I think he should be double figures, but not at 20. I think he's in 11. I think he's an $11 chance, not 21. So good chance. Ran third in the handicap two starts ago over the 2,500 meters to higher motion with 61. Dropped back to 58 kilos in the Bart Cummings and ran really well, running fifth with an interrupted run. Drops to 54 kilos. So dropping 4 kilos off its last start run in the Group 3 and goes up to Group 1 level. And we know that this horse can cut it at the top. This horse is a stayer. He's a very good horse. He's not in my numbers, but if you like him at the 21s, I wouldn't be putting you off him. And he's definitely a player for your exotics because I think he can fill fourth. I don't think he'll be finishing top 3, but I definitely think he can finish fourth. So next one we're going to take a look at is No Compromise. The last start Metropolitan winner got it on the bob between him and Ladon Davy. Comes into the race, fifth up, Hard Fit, 53.5. Chris Waller, the first of his runners we're going to take a look at here. And no compromise is drawn barrier number 13. Can win from that barrier. Definitely can win from the barrier. 53.5 kilos, dropping, well, staying at the same weight he won the Metrop last start. $21. He's over the odds. I really think he's over the odds. He's a last start Group 1 winner. He's going to stay the trip. He handles conditions. Must be respected, in my opinion. No compromise. I don't think he can win it, but I definitely think he can finish top 3, and he's a very good chance for Craig Newitt, who is looking for his first Group 1 in a while. So the next one is Allegron for the James Cummings team. And what a weekend they had last weekend. Golden Mile, Animo, Powlele. Just a great training operation, and that's how they show it and getting winners. Don't think it's going to be this one, though. I don't think they're going to train the winner of the Caulfeild Cup. Though with the stable, you never underestimate them. Allegron is a stay. He's run well in staying races. And he won the Kingston Town last start, beating Knight's Order and Benno, who is respected in the market here. He ran in the Southern Australian Derby, ran 4th, and he won the St. Leger at Fleming over 2,800 metres under Damien Oliver. He's not on my first 4. He might handle conditions, but he is only 3rd up into a Caulfeild Cup, so I don't like him here. Though is a good chance for Ethan Brown, but a great ride for Ethan Brown, the young jockey on the rise. Number 10 we're going to take a look at is Benno. John O'Shea brings it down from Randwick, and Regan Bayliss, a Sydney jockey, coming down to ride it. 5th up, Hard Fit, will handle this heavy ground. Can run 24. Was a good run last weekend in the Might and Power. Drops weight from last start. He drops 5 kilos, I think around 5 kilos from last start. Got to be respected. Is a winning chance, but not in my numbers. Next couple are this one's gonna be just a quick one. Great House, Brett Prebalon. Can't see him winning. I can't see him turning around where he finished in the Caulfeild Cup last year and potentially beating nonconformist. I just can't see it happening. Won't win. Great House won't be winning the Caulfeild Cup and does rise 3 kilos from his run last year, but does get a major jockey upgrade in Brett Preble, where T.O. Nugent rode him last year, but still won't win. Inspirational Girl. Now, we haven't really seen her this spring. She's had 2 runs. In the Fian behind Mr. Brightside, ran 2nd to Mr. Brightside, and then ran 7th in the Turnbull. And as I said, be forgiving of horses that were back, and because it wasn't a run-ons race, the leader kicked and won in Smoke and Romans in the Group 1 Turnbull. McNeil Sticks out of the 2,400 metres, probably been the goal the entire campaign for this horse. So interested to see how she goes. She's drawn barrier number 1. My worry is she's going to be cluttered up. She just can't use that barrier. She's a back marker. There is no way that the stable are going to change her natural racing style, and it's going to be hard. She's going to be back in the field, not where you want to be in the Caulfeild Cup, but she will be able to build, or she'll be stuck on the fence and finish 12 lengths last. So those are the 2 factors you have to take into account. But if you like her, $13. I wouldn't put you off her because she hasn't done anything this spring. Well, she hasn't been able to do anything because she didn't get a crack at them in the Turnbull, and her Fian Stakes run was great. I thought it was the run, well, apart from the winner, was the run of the race. So good chance, probably over the odds at 13s, but not in my numbers. So the next horse is Maximal for Ben Malum. 53 kilos for John O'Shea, his 2nd runner in the race. $21 drawn, barrier number 19. Oh, it's going to be hard from all the way out there for this horse to get, for Ben Malum to get this horse over the line. He has been targeted. At this race. But yeah, it's a wide draw, and you're not really, the market hasn't really said that he's probably the one to beat or that he's going to run well. He's still a $21 chance. So Yeah, I'm not too sure about Maximal in this race, but yeah, I just
Here's
don't.
what I
Oh,
found.
go away. I don't know about Maximal in this race. Sorry about that. So yeah, don't know, but yeah, someone probably knows more than me. And the next one that we're going to take a look at is number 14, and that is number 14 is Sound for Blake McDougall and Mike Maroney, carrying 53 kilos. Out of the two Mike Maroney runners in the race, I'd probably say Sound is the better chance. You know, he didn't do too badly last spring. I mean, he beat I'm just trying to think of the horse. It beat Spanish Mission, who ran second to it, or ran third. Sorry, ran third to Very Elliott in the Melbourne Cup. I got to get me racing hat on here, and he was the dominant favourite in the Zipping Classic, but Sound beat him. So Sound maybe can, maybe can't. Probably leaning on the side of can't win, but he's a big price, and he deserves to look in at the price. Of the horses that are double figures, I definitely can't see him winning this. I don't think he'll be anywhere near the winner. But at the odds of 100 to 1 for Blake McDougall for his first Caulfeild Cup ride, I think he's a good chance. He's a good chance of probably running a good 5th or 6th. So don't write him off yet. But won't be winning and won't be finishing the placings. Number 15, Chapada. It's a quick one here. Won't win, out of form, not convinced up to the 2,400 metres will help this horse. They did win the Herbert Power over the 24, 2020, I'm pretty sure. But no, won't be winning here. Crystal Pegasus, the next one we're going to take a look at. Damien Thornton, 52. Chris Waller. Another one that can't win. Hasn't shown anything to be winning here. I mean, he's on his prior form where he just kept winning everything. He'd be a big chance, but he hasn't shown anything this spring. Though, having said that, he's been at distances where he hasn't been advantaged in 16, 2000, 2000, up to the 2,400 meters. Maybe this is a plan by Chris Waller to get him at this stage of his preparation, 4th up, Caulfeild Cup, 2,400 meters. We've seen him do it before. We've seen Chris Waller do it before. I mean, look at Very Elegant. She won the Melbourne Cup last year off a good run in the Cox Plate. So he can do it, but probably not going to be doing it with Crystal Pegasus. Number 17, Smokin' Romans, drawn well in barrier number 5 for Jamie Carr. And I think when this horse crosses the line in front, she's going to have the biggest smile on her face because she's won on him before. He's won a lot of staying races. He won the Turnbull for Ethan Brown. He won the Naturalism. He's at the right platform. He's at the 2,000-meter run at Caulfeild on a heavy 8. So we'll handle Caulfeild and we'll handle the heavy track. Then went to Fleming in the Turnbull, won the Group 1, up to the 2,400 meters now where he will be better suited. 51.5 kilos, dropping from 55.5, so drops 4 kilos from its last start. I think he's clearly the one to beat for Jamie Carr. Ma Eustace will be winning the Caulfeild Cup, and I think they'll do it with this horse. Very keen, Smokin' Romans at the 460 price. I know he's the favourite, but he's the one that you can bet on it with a bit of confidence. Next one we're going to take a look at here is Charlie Rose. Third up, but hasn't run since since she ran behind the field against Jimmy the Bear. Vaughan Declare was also in the race. I can't think of the race name, but was an all right run. It would be a great training performance if they could do it. For someone who could do it, Dean Yendall to ride 51.5 kilos, and he must think it's a chance because he's doing his own rides at the moment. So if he's booked to ride it, you can tell that he thinks it's a good chance. And does get the crossover noseband for the first time. And at $81, I think it's probably worth having something like something the size of a peon for place, because I think it's a very a place chance, a rough 3rd place chance. And then the emergencies, which I can't see getting into the field, Durston and Macram. Out of the two of them, I'd probably rather be with Macram because Durston, I thought, going to the Group 1 Metrop last start, he was the one to beat 2,400 metres after he won so dominantly the start prior, but he was disappointing. And Macram was a good run last weekend in the Herbert Power, but probably won't get a run here. And for my final tips for the Group 1 $5 million Caulfeild Cup for Carlton Draft, and I am with Smokin' Romans for Jamie Carr. Won't surprise a lot of people there, but I think he can win. He's a leader. He handles Caulfeild. He handles heavy. That's 3 boxes ticked. What more do you want? He's your winner of the Caulfeild Cup, Smokin' Romans. Numerian, the one that is his only danger at $12. Tommy Barrich is in right here instead of an Everest ride. Good chance. Nonconformist set for the race. 950 needs a dry track, but I think can still run well if he's right. Well, he'll be right. Don't worry about it. The stable have him drilled down for this, but I'm not sure how the stable are going to feel on a heavy track. And Charlie Rose, good training performance if Simon Wilder can do it at $81. Thank you for watching my preview runner by runner for the Caulfeild Cup of 2022 for Carlton Draft. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope Smokin' Romans wins the Caulfeild Cup because I'm very keen on his chances. And I'll see you tomorrow evening because I don't think my preview will be ready to go up tonight for the undercard of this great meeting for Caulfeild Cup Day. Thank you, and I hope you've enjoyed this preview.